Hello, everyone. Did you read today's article, Brandy, Tariffs and Trade Wars? It explained how a new Chinese tariff on French cognac is linked to the EU's tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. This trade standoff has little to do with alcohol and cars directly, but rather with economic leverage between powerful markets. French producers fear massive losses, as China is their top market, and Korean policymakers are watching closely for any ripple effects on exports. We'll now take the first step by reflecting on a few quiz questions. Let's take a closer look at today's story by checking your understanding with a short quiz. You can pause if you need more time to think. Ready? Let's get started. First question, what prompted China to impose tariffs on French cognac? A. Declining domestic brandy sales in China. B. EU tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. C. Quality concerns over French alcohol. D. A failed trade negotiation with France. Take a moment to think about it. The correct answer is B. The article explains that China's move followed the EU's decision to impose import duties on Chinese EVs, citing unfair subsidies. French cognac producers were caught in the middle as collateral damage. Number 2. How much have cognac exports to China dropped, according to BNIC? A. About 30%. B. About 50%. C. About 70%. D. About 90%. Consider your answer carefully. The correct answer is C. This sharp decline represents a major blow to the industry, which relies heavily on luxury buyers in Asia. Time for a quick true-false quiz. Number 3. South Korea is directly involved in the EU-China trade dispute over EVs and cognac. Think about your response. The answer is false. The article notes that South Korea is not directly involved, but is closely observing the situation for possible impacts on its own exports. Number 4. Some French cognac producers received lower tariffs by committing to a minimum price. Reflect on your answer. The answer is true. Companies like Martell and Remy Martin avoided higher rates through such commitments, while others face steep penalties if they fail to comply. Having explored the article through these questions, let's now engage in a discussion to delve deeper into the themes presented. Consider the following question and share your thoughts. Here is a question for you. Should governments separate economic policies from political disagreements? Why or why not? That's a complex question. What's your opinion?
I think in an ideal world, yes, economic policy should be kept separate from political disputes. Trade, investment, and economic cooperation often benefit both sides, regardless of political differences. When these areas get entangled with politics, ordinary people, like consumers and small businesses, usually pay the price. For example, tariffs used as political tools can cause shortages, raise prices, and damage industries that aren't even connected to the disagreement. That said, I understand it's not always possible. Sometimes economic measures are the only peaceful way to pressure a government on serious issues, like human rights violations. But this should be done carefully and with clear goals, so the economic damage doesn't spiral out of control. Ultimately, governments need to weigh the long-term costs against the short-term political gains.
Thanks for joining today's discussion. The case of French cognac and Chinese EVs shows how quickly political disputes can spill into the economic sphere. While politics and economics are deeply connected, the challenge is finding a balance that upholds principles without causing unnecessary harm to people and industries. See you next time!